Hello, beautiful Capricorn friends. Welcome to my channel, The Intuitive Teacup. I am so happy to have the Capricorns up in the house with me today. We are going to do your March monthly tarot readings. Happy Pisces season and soon to be happy Aries season. Hope this video finds all the Capricorns well. As always, flying out. I have to see what that was. Darkest fears are flying out. So you are like getting rid of those fears. Something that you've been holding on to that's been holding you back. It's gone. Like it's flying out of your life. It may have to do with someone who you were afraid to speak your truth to, particularly if it's someone older than you or someone that you work with. It could be a boss. It's basically standing up for yourself. The way it flew right out, like it doesn't want to be contained anymore. So facing your fears, essentially. Darkest of fears. Interesting. Anyway, sorry for that tangent. Here on YouTube, guys, I do general messages. That means not everything I say will resonate with all the Capricorns out there. So it's up to you guys to come into this reading with an open heart and an open mind. I ask that you please only take away those messages that resonate with you, that serve you in some capacity, motivate you, inspire you, confirm something you needed to hear, or the opposite, illuminate you to some new idea or possibility that perhaps you didn't see before. I come at this with love and encouragement, and so I hope that's what you take away from it. If something doesn't fit your circumstance or scenario, drop it like it's hot. Please have faith that it's a message for someone else that they need to hear, and not everything will be your message. Everything else about this video is in that description box below. That is going to include the decks I'm using here today, as well as my social media. I am the Intuitive Teacup on Facebook, Instagram, and .com. Check those out if you're interested. And as always, like, share, subscribe on this video right here. Helps this channel gain momentum and traction and gets those messages out. A couple more shuffles and we're going to hop in for my Capricorns. We'll do this one last deck here. Capricorn for the month of March. If I could get my words out. Wow, your cards are flying. You're popping, Capricorn. Energy, which is kind of interesting in Pisces season, which is kind of just very like chill and dreamy and subconscious. You guys are like attacking something. The energy feels, especially with Knight of Swords, sorry, I'm jumping in already. Yeah, your energy feels courageous, brave, very hopeful, but like not taking no for an answer. Not leaving something at rest, going out and getting clarity, speaking your truth. Interesting. All right, so let's hop into your actual reading. We will clarify everything else as needed. So your energy is coming in as observe. I love this card. I just think it's so cool looking. It does sort of make me think of the world, how like the 4 fixed zodiac signs are in each corner and you become like the center of your world. It does speak to me about bravery as well. And there is something very like kind of cosmic and like, I know this sounds silly, but like astronaut energy, if you will. Sometimes I read it as that, or like or something to do with like religion, like wearing like the cloak or the hood or something. We'll clarify it more, but. So then you have 3 of Wands, the 2 of Wands. You guys get this all the time in my readings. And then enemy. Interesting. Yeah, so again, the same message is going to face your fears, something that was holding you back. With any 2, there's indecision or a choice. I do think you guys, and the way it fell, it went 3-2 enemy, 3-2-1, right? It's like you're counting down to that moment where you're rushing into to like set something free or speak your truth, to make something known, to stand up for yourself. And you're doing it, I want to clarify, in a higher vibration underneath the underwriting energy for the Knight of Swords, which can sometimes be acting on impulse. It's not. It's something that, again, with the waiting card, the 3 of Wands, you've been working through it in your mind on how to approach it in the most logical, just, fair way. So you finally moving forward, it's going to fix any difficult energy that you have surrounding it. The idea of you being kept up in the middle of the night because you're trying to wrap your head around how you're going to do it, or worrying about the potential effects, or it's like being fearful or worrisome about the outcome of you guys taking action. King of Wands is also at the bottom of your deck. It could be towards a fire sign. And then wow, you have a lot of people in this spread. And then there's your card. So the Queen of Pentacles, whether you're male or female, it is Capricorn energy, it's earth energy. So sometimes it could have to do with your finances, but more than anything, I think this is clarifying you. So I'm wondering if there's something with a fire sign that you're going after, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and for the longest time, it feels like you guys were at a standstill. You guys weren't speaking your truth, but you were both feeling some type of way about something, but not saying it. there was a sense of abandonment or isolation or being put through some sort of hardship or a difficult time. Could absolutely be financially, but it's like you're something about gasping for breath. You finally have your head above water in Pisces season, all these beautiful metaphors for Pisces season. And yeah, you're coming in with the truth and you're speaking your mind, and I think it's going to offer you peace and calm and clarity. But yeah, there was something about this where it had to happen at the right time, because the fears or the anxiety associated with this maybe confrontation with a person, it may have felt so heavy that you delayed it or were avoiding it for the longest time. And it's almost like you had to sit back and observe and understand how it worked, understand the process, understand the key players. Maybe it was needing to advocate for yourself, but you weren't sure who to go to first, particularly in a workplace scenario. Some of you may be speaking to someone in HR if there was like a severe issue that occurred. And yes, even if this isn't you, somehow a very difficult scenario regarding either something in your personal life or with a coworker or someone around you, I am sort of getting you have to speak up because you know it's the right thing to do. That's very much what's coming through here. And again, for the longest time, there was this waiting, this indecision of like, I want to come forward with it, but what if I do it this way? Or what if I do it that way? The repercussions, the outcome, like I don't really know. But ultimately, I think what you're going up against the enemy, you're going up against whether the enemy is a person, and it might be, potentially an Aries, Leo, Sag. It doesn't have to be. The enemy could just be an uncomfortable circumstance or a difficult period of time. Either way, it's like you're back on your horse and you're riding through it. You're going to get yourself out of this awkward predicament, whether it was your fault or your doing or not. And for most of you, I don't think it was. Yeah, you kind of had a little bit of an upset. It could even involve something with an ex, particularly if you have a child with that ex. It could be a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces ex, though it doesn't have to be. And possibly a fire sign child, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Again, lots of messages. Like you already have 3 queens on the board, Capricorn. You have the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, which is typically your energy, and then the Queen of Cups. So yeah, and you have you have all different elementals too. So just because this is a king doesn't mean it has to be a male or masculine person. It's more the energy. So again, something with your boss is sort of what's coming through with that. It could also be, I do kind of want to say it could also be your husband. I don't know why that keeps coming through, but you have earth, air, fire, and water. So maybe there's a lot of players here. And I could absolutely see that with the depiction of this card, how it reminds me of the world. All the fixed zodiac signs are on the card of the world, and each corner there is a different elemental. It's Scorpio, Aquarius, Taurus, and Leo. So representing all the different elementals. All these people are key players. So do you work on a team of 4? Are there 4 people in your family? Do you have 4 children? Do you have, I don't know, are you on some sort of like social team or, I don't know, a basketball team? Or do you understand what I'm saying? A network of 4 people. That's not going to be for everybody, but maybe that sort of like the intimidation factor of working with all those 4 people made you want to hold back and make sure you used your words wisely. You didn't want to rush in and say the wrong thing and maybe ruffle the wrong feathers or upset the wrong people, because yeah, it could even be something as simple as like there was a vicious rumor or some gossip going around about you, but you almost didn't know who started it. So you were sort of like, I'm so sorry, Capricorn, my camera froze. See, there could have been some sort of scenario where you had to almost play detective and figure out who is the root cause of the problem, who is the root cause of the issue. For any of my Capricorns who are teachers, there may have been some sort of incident in a classroom where something happened, but everybody was like pointing the finger of blame. Oh, it was them, they started it. And yeah, it's like you were kind of in the middle of like not knowing who to trust or not knowing who to come forward with this like explanation or have this heavy, difficult discussion, confront somebody, confrontation. So interesting, but your energy feels really beautiful with, I don't know why I keep wanting to say the world with this card. Maybe that symbol or that logo or that word has something to do with this scenario or this problem. But it feels like harmony and peace and balance are going to be restored, but it does seem like you're the one bringing in the truth. You're the one bringing in the heavy truth of that difficult conversation that it does seem like everybody else is kind of avoiding. Everyone else is just kind of like looking around like, like let's not look at the giant elephant in the room. Let's just pretend it's not there. You're like, guys, there's an elephant in the room. Like, you're very much like, let's deal with this bullshit once and for all. Let's get it out of the way, and rightfully so. So we're not all just like standing there with like our heads up our ass. I hate to say it like that, but it's like nothing is ever going to change if we don't get out of like these awkward fives, right? Fives in tarot are agents of change and chaos. So yeah, Capricorn, you're coming in and you are addressing the elephant in the room. But what's cool is that it's going to free up some confusion. It's going to free up the clouded mental state that one or many of you are feeling. And then it's going to usher in the Wheel of Fortune. And again, the 4 fixed zodiac signs, right? Your 4 major players here of all the different elementals, earth, air, fire, water, your family, your work team, your friends group, your universe, for lack of a better term, it will be restored. It'll all be equal and balanced again. I do sense that for most people on the team, it's going to be happy, cheery, merry sunshine again. If there was an upset and in emotions, or someone's feeling kind of moody or jealous or selfish or feeling left out, kind of all up in their feelings in like a negative way, I think you guys are going to get past it. I think, yeah, there's going to be like newfound freedom in the relationship. There's going to be a rebirth of joy and happiness, particularly if it does involve a Virgo. All right, so what is your challenge or focus? I mean, I think we kind of already know, but this is so hopeful. You're getting there. You're confronting the enemy. Sleeping with the enemy, I just heard. That's a Julia Roberts movie. Maybe there's a Julia involved in all this. I don't know. All right, so new vitality, the Queen of Wands. All right, so that's a card of Aries, could also be Leo or Sag. Room and the 5 of Cups. All right, so yeah, this is sort of seeming like a similar message. Give me just one second. Yeah, you're calling out, I do want to say, a fire sign You are calling out a fire sign because of the way they misspoke. A misstep, I heard, like S-T-E-P, like you misstepped. I don't know why it's specifically that word. And yeah, it's like you're the one calling them out. But even the pipes of Pan, right, which is very Capricorn-esque. I actually really love that that's coming through for you guys. Again, with the rainbow, something like that, like inclusivity typically is what rainbows stand for. I think of the song True Colors by Cyndi Lauper, which ended up becoming like this gay anthem, right? Maybe that has something to do with this. Maybe with all these queens on the board, maybe this has to do with a same-sex relationship. Maybe, yeah, and maybe there was third-party situation stuff there. And even if that's the case, Capricorn, I stick to my guns and saying, you're the one like blowing the whistle out, literally blowing the pipes of Pan to reestablish or hit reset to something about balance and inclusivity. But I heard exclusive, so I don't know if that means that maybe you've been playing the field, Capricorn. Maybe, and I mean, I don't mean to make it a gender thing. I'm just throwing it out there for my male Capricorns. If you are seeking female partnership, it could be that you end up choosing one and going after it like, I heard with a vengeance, but it's not in a evil mentality. It's more like, I'm gonna make it mine. Like you're very determined to get that piece of information or that communication through this time, especially if you've been trying again and again and again. It seems like you finally make headway this time. And yeah, for a very select few of you, it could just be involved, or it could just have to do with stepping towards that person that maybe intimidated you in the past, someone that maybe you've had a rocky relationship with, or they weren't available in the way you wanted them to be, especially emotionally. It seems like you guys are kind of busting through, and yeah, I just heard, oh, happy day. So yeah, maybe there's some sort of change that occurs in making an offer or a communication to someone. Yeah, and with judgment, it could be someone from your past, or again, someone who's already in your circle, your social circle, someone that when you first made the offer or attempted to communicate with, they weren't ready to hear that information. They weren't ready to hold on to it or swallow it, or yeah, something about it couldn't be contained. It just kind of, they had to release that offer and let it go because they weren't ready to accept it. So yeah, a lot of you, this might be your second try at it, your second go at like, I will be heard this time. And that may even have to do with voicing something about HR is coming through at work, like something that happened that wasn't right. You may have reported somebody before and it was kind of like, okay, thanks, like we'll take care of it. And it's continuing to happen again. And so, yeah, there's an awkward situation here. But again, you guys you're busting through. You're not taking no for an answer this time. I do want to say for a lot of you, it involves an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. It could be your husband or your wife, or it could be someone you work very closely with. They are presenting in two ways as a fire sign. And it could be that they are excluding you, Capricorn, it could be that this person that you need to speak your truth to works very closely with someone who is in like equal power to them. So it's almost like by knocking on the door of one, you know that the repercussion or I hope you understand what I'm saying. It's almost like if you get one involved, ultimately two of these people are going to start coming at you with whatever, different sides of the argument or this and that. There might be intimidation here because it's like they come with, what is the term? In a sense, it doesn't feel like a fair fight because if you go in and speak your truth, there's two people that are going to come at you. I hope that makes sense. For a very select few of you, this could be a mother and a father that you're going to speak with. But I don't feel that for most of you. And even if they're not fire signs, there is something about a coupling or a pairing here. Even if it's not romantic, and for most of you it isn't. I hope that makes sense. It's like you coming in to have a discussion with one. Ultimately, they're going to like rely on their co-collaborator, their partner to like kind of fight this battle with them. So yeah, it kind of makes sense that you had to think about it before you decided to come in and confront the enemy, essentially. You may have to have some sort of awkward meeting with this person. Again, something about the HR, human resources. I don't know why that's coming through, but yeah, you may have to have a difficult conversation with someone about something where people got very upset. 5 of Cups in the past, cups have spilled. People's emotions got involved and it got very messy. And yeah, even the way this is depicted, he's very headstrong. This person, they're not willing to give an inch on maybe what I said or did was wrong. They're not willing to open up the table or the floor to have a conversation about this because they are very arrogant. They're very headstrong. They're sticking to their guns. And again, you Capricorn are like, no, we're going to talk about this. Like all the ugly stuff, right? Like let's get it up and out on the table so that we can like kind of make progress. And again, ultimately move forward. Like I think you're doing it in a way that you're trying to make things better. But yeah, there's absolutely obstacles or denial or I just keep getting your person is very arrogant, very cocky, very headstrong. And again, this is probably a pattern of behavior where they've had their wrist slapped once or twice for this behavior or this whatever they're doing. But this time it's like you're not going to let them get away with just a slap on the wrist. It's like, no, you're going to prison this time. Like, again, in metaphor, that's kind of a funny message. But that's what I mean. It's like, no, this person needs to, in a weird way, there is an element of you trying to serve them up karmic justice. Be very careful with that, Capricorn. Absolutely speak your truth, call a spade, point out the elephant in the room. But ultimately, I'm not getting that you are the person who is going to reprimand them. I think this is more like you are reporting this person to the higher up. So just remember, it's not your job to teach them their karmic lessons. Stand in your truth, stand in what you believe is fair and just, but like let the universe take care of this person once you've kind of done your bit, if that makes sense. I'm very apprehensive to support somebody going about something in a shady way where they're trying to serve up this person like their karmic lessons. They're trying to like fight fire with fire. That's actually a really beautiful lesson here. That's actually what this could be too. If you both have strong fire in your chart, though obviously it wouldn't be your sun sign Capricorn, yeah, this may represent like a tete-a-tete, coming at it and just, there's sort of some arguments. And so because this is coming up as your challenge or focus, make sure, as I was saying, you're doing it in a higher vibration, that you are trying to restore, all the colors of the rainbow, get everybody back together and on the same page again. Again, this is representing you. You are at the center, you are at the focus, and it could be that you are sort of like the mom or the dad of this team or this network. You sort of pull everybody together. So it is kind of like you are, metaphorically or literally, universe is kind of sending you as like the trailblazer to lead the way, to show everybody else the light. To bring everything back to harmony here. Some of you work in like a music group. And And yeah, you may be working with a water sign as well that is very emotionally manipulative. They don't like to be vulnerable, and so they're very quick to give people the silent treatment. There's definitely somebody in the scenario who, rather than confront it and talk about, whatever went wrong, they're very, they tend to do the silent treatment, which that doesn't help anyone. And I sense that, Capricorn, that you're like, this bullshit again. Like, I feel like I've gotten that message for you before. All right, so what is the help available to my Capricorns? This is an oddly specific message. I'm sorry it's not for everybody, but again, pieces and parts of this may resonate in some way, so take it and run with it. It's the help available to you, guys. Stop it. Look at what that card says. Confront. Part of this does have like a nice little yin and yang dynamic or a mirror. So this could be a twin flame for some of you if you're going through a difficult relationship. But it is also asking you to look within and to be very honest and real with yourself. Is there a way where you were misguided? Is there something where you misspoke? Is there something where you can kind of humbly accept that something about the purity and the innocence, that maybe you were out of your field, maybe you didn't do everything in the highest vibration, maybe there's a way where you could course correct as well. Because it's confront and it's showing like the shadow self, which is, kind of you, Capricorn, right? You are the devil card, and for everybody involved in the zodiac, that does represent the shadow side of ourselves. So this is sort of saying to me, no offense, guys, take a deep breath. You might not be totally in the right. I think 90% of what you did, again, it's coming from a higher vibration. But ultimately, if you're going to sit in a room and talk about your feelings and everybody puts it out on the table, what happened, go in with a little bit of humble, I was going to say humble pie. I don't really know how that phrase meets, but I think you understand what I'm saying. There's a need for you to be humble as well and to maybe accept the faults of the situation may in some capacity, even indirectly, may have involved you. So if you're going to clear the air and get everybody restored and back to like this healthy relationship again, you may have to give a little. I am sort of getting that. It's going to be worth it. With the Fool, again, it's a blank slate. It's a brand new clean page. It's innocent. It's pure. It's unmuckied. Again, basking in the glory and the sunlight and the newness. There's optimism. There's hope here. But it does have to do with looking at yourself. Card number 18, it's the card of the moon. This may involve a Pisces. You may also have something about Pisces may be a factor in your chart in some way. Then you have the Six of Cups. So soulmate energy. Making peace with the past. And again, making peace with decisions that were made in the past and ultimately how you want to move forward. And then you have the card of waiting. Okay, so what this is saying to me, because you have this card twice within your energy, it is the help available to you. If you're not ready to come in with a very humble attitude and an ability to kind of discuss things openly and not let it be a trigger for you, not get all like simmered up and fiery when you're talking to like this enemy that you have to confront, it's okay to wait a little bit longer. There's a reason why you've waited to confront this person, because clearly it's a heavy conversation. It's one that in some capacity you're dreading or you're worried about, or you're afraid it's going to change the relationship, or you're, whatever, fill in the blank. There's a reason why you're waiting, and part of it has to do with the moon and Pisces. The subconscious, you know that there's a right way to do this. Queen of Swords, she's Libra. She's the scales of justice and truth and balance. This again, balance and harmony, restoring the justice, restoring the team dynamic. Subconsciously, you know there's the right way to go about this and the wrong way. So make sure you get all your ducks in a row. If this involves having to prove something, make sure you have the evidence handy. Make sure you have all the facts and the data as you go in to have this conversation. This could involve a court case for some of you. I'm not getting that hugely here, but particularly if it does have to do with child custody or I don't know. There's a lot of people here. Maybe this represents your lawyers. You each have representation, and I don't know. I almost called you Pisces. Capricorn, there's a lot here. Let's clarify it a little bit. But anyway, what is helpful to you is waiting to come in a kind way. There's part of you that wants to come in and tear somebody a new one. That is not a higher vibrational energy. Again, confront your shadow self and make sure you're coming in and you're vibing high. actually, what this is saying to me too with the Six of Cups, an apology might be in order. And here's the thing, I think a lot of my Capricorns out there, again, don't shoot the messenger. A lot of my Capricorns are going, yeah, there's apology in order on their end. Like, they screwed up. With the Six of Cups, it's nice and balanced. There is something sort of about reciprocity here when we think about the Six of Pentacles. So to me, it's saying you may not anticipate this, but you may end up apologizing for something too. But I don't think you're in that headspace yet. I think that message is going to be a little bit difficult for a lot of you guys to swallow right now. Page of Pentacles, you have the Moon again, Three of Wands again, and the Three of Cups. Yeah, this is beautiful. By waiting a little bit longer and making sure that emotionally you are in a good place to have this conversation, peace and balance and harmony will be restored. This is a card of reconciliation and reunions, getting the team, the multiple people back on the same page, having equal feelings. Generally, it's a very happy card. It's a card of celebrations, of friendship, of a group dynamic. But this is saying the same thing. It's like before you come in and make that offer or have that, it's funny, have that discussion, but it's almost the discussion being represented as a seed that can grow over time. If you guys are trying to get back on the same page and succeed in the same project or team or with the same goals or whatever, yeah, something about there's a lot of like shadow work that needs to be done. Again, facing kind of your inner demons, your inner dark side, or literally just with the Pisces. If all of this has to do with the Pisces, that's what the Moon card means. But there is sort of some unclarity there. And I do think because it has to do with having mixed emotions about, or mixed feelings about being completely in the wrong, or that your person is completely out of line. How I was saying this person is a little bit stuck up and cocky and arrogant and that, I can do no wrong, it's all their fault. Just be really careful with that. Did I call you Pisces again? Sorry, Capricorn. It's because you have so many cards of Pisces coming up. Yeah, that could also represent your energy as well, and you'll know it, right? Like if you're watching this video going, it wasn't my fault, then this is probably your message, guys. Be humble about it. If you want to restore the friendship, the relationship, the marriage, the whatever, make sure you're coming in with a clear conscience, with something about a disposition, a cheery disposition because you want to make it better. You don't want to make it worse. And it does have to do with facing your fears as well. This is saying to me as Page of Pentacles, you have a good solid idea. You have a good foundation to come in and prove your case, make a case for yourself about what needs to change, about the errors that occurred, about the misguided or the missteps or the misdoings. But this can also be a card of fear and intimidation. You hold the light though. You are the light worker in this scenario. Again, you are trying to spread the light, restore the balance, inclusivity, is that a word? Inclusiveness. You're holding the light, so it almost is saying like, go. You're going to be okay. Keep wandering down that path, even though it scares you a little bit, even though there's a little bit of intimidation. What you are making your way towards will make you very happy, and it's going to make other people happy too. Even like the color of this card, it's very rainbow-esque. Like all the colors will come back together again. And I do feel like that metaphor of the rainbow and the colors, that might be important to some of you too. I don't necessarily want to make it like I'm hesitant to say it because I don't want it to sound crude or weird, but it could have to do with different ethnicities, like different racial backgrounds, particularly if it has to do with a family dynamic. Like maybe you have someone who is extremely traditional and who, like, even if it's like your grandfather of who they thought you were going to marry, there could have been some imbalance again with like the group, with the family. And yeah, it's kind of like you're blowing the whistle on it twice. You're the one like kind of saying your judgment was wrong. You made a wrong call. Let me show you how beautiful it is when we all work together, right? It is a very cool message. All right, so final advice or guidance for my Capricorns. Stop it. Find balance. Yeah, the indecision of when to come through because you don't want to rock the boat. You don't want to make waves. Here's the thing, Capricorn. Ultimately, having this conversation, it is going to cause some waves. Know that going into it. So again, come in with being determined that you are going to reset the scales of justice, of balance. You're not coming in with, again, like sitting on all this fiery energy that you never kind of vocalized. I think you're going to be able to speak openly and freely, but do it in a higher vibration. There are sorry, there is going to be some messy emotions or messy feelings involved, because that's ultimately what got you to come and confront this person in the first place, right? It's like there needs to be restitution here. This needs to be dealt with once and for all, so we can get rid of like these spilled cups that are weighing the team down. But yeah, partnership will be restored. Love will be restored. Making that decision, ultimately, that's what the Lovers is, a choice or a decision. Making that decision will get you out of like this back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And that to me is saying this. How do I proceed? And this doesn't feel right, but I need to say something. But what if I get fired? But like, that's not serving you. Your dark thoughts are weighing you down. It's becoming your mental prison. You're letting your thoughts overpower like your... it's giving your power up to your thoughts, essentially. It's like you need to take back power. You need to take back control. And that's what you're doing here. I really like that. Yeah, because malady. This could have to do with like sick time, somebody taking too much vacation or sick time or something like that. Sickness. It could also have to do with an inheritance, or again, a parent or a grandparent that maybe, sorry, I'm not predicting this, but if you have a grandparent who is towards the end of their life here on the earthly plane, this may involve something with that. It's almost like you need to make it right while they are still here so that they don't. This is a very unusual message. So again, not for everybody. It's almost like you don't want your grandparent to have that unrest, that maybe this is representing your grandparents or your parent or whoever might be ill or sickly. While they are still in good health and still around, make sure you bring everybody back together again so that there can be some sort of happiness, some sort of regrowth from what was a difficult situation. I mean, in metaphor, it's putting it to rest once and for all so that you can promote peace and happiness, again, among the group. This could involve a Gemini in some capacity, particularly if you have like I keep wanting to say grandparent that's a Gemini. That the relationship is very rocky. There's a lot of unrest with them. You're trying to reset the scale, find the balance with that person. I'm going to give you another one there. Final advice or guidance for my Capricorns. The Six of Wands, beautiful. So it will be a victory. It's going to take courage for you to come and do this because there's something about it that you are hesitant to do or you're fearful of. You don't need to be. I think with the Wheel of Fortune, the odds will be in your favor. That makes me think of that Jennifer Lawrence movie. May the odds forever be in your favor, or whatever she says. Yeah, it's going to be a victory, and you are the trailblazer. You are leading the charge. Other people are going to look up to you for this like noble act, or you just being kind of taking one for the team, but it's for the best. You are going to reap the reward of this as well. It does feel like there might be a group of people who are fearful to come forward. This could even be some sort of protest or some sort of union type thing. I am getting like major vibes at work. And then Four of Wands. Yeah, so the soulmate card. A solid foundation. Again, the 4 is really important here. 4 people in this team, 4 people in this group. You have more than 4, but there's so many people in this. And then you have 2 knights. So you have all 4 queens. Lots of divine feminine energy. Do you work on a team that is all females? And this could even be like a gender issue, right? Something about, I don't mean to make it that if it isn't, but it is presenting as something about if your boss is male, oh goodness. Okay, sorry, refocusing. There may be some sort of executive or someone high up who is giving preferential treatment to one of the ladies on the team, if that makes sense. And then you have 2 knights. So knights always bring change and movement into our life. This could be very much an argument between you and an air sign that is ultimately coming to a head. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. You do have a card of Gemini over here. And again, it's saying this relationship with a Gemini, if it's rocky now, it can be restored. There is love there. All right. Get you some of these oracle cards. I keep wanting to call you Pisces. I don't know why. It keeps coming through. I guess because you have the moon card a lot, but does this involve a Pisces? Do you have strong Pisces in your chart? I don't know. Patience. The tide will come in when it's ready. That was your Three of Wands. You will know when to move forward on this when you're coming at it with a clear conscience. When you're not looking to create more problems, you're looking to balance it out, to hit reset and restore the relationships. And dance. Take inspiration from the moonlight dancing on the surface of the sea. And that makes me think of the moon card too. It may just have to do with Pisces season that all this is coming up into the surface. Do you guys work at like a dance studio or something involving dance? Did this happen at like an exercise class? I don't know. One more card for Capricorn. It is about facing your fears and doing something that scares you. Ambition. Set your sights beyond the horizon. Yeah, it's almost like remove yourself from the very narrow headspace of what happened. Think if you were to restore it all and kind of zoom out, there's so much more potential for growth in this partnership or this relationship that it's worth trying to salvage. It's worth trying to fix. It's worth trying to usher in some sort of positive change in the relationship. All right, Capricorn, that's what I got for you. Please do like, share, subscribe. Let me know in the comments below what resonates, and I will see you very soon for more tarot. Bye. What's up, teacups? I have a small little announcement to make, an exciting one. I am going to be participating in a tarot expo. It is going to be March 21st and March 22nd in Burbank, California, so the Los Angeles area. If you live in LA or are going to be in LA at that time, please swing by. It's going to be a fun little expo with multiple tarot readers. For those who follow YouTube and are familiar with different tarot channels, Ramblin Mike, the granddaddy of tarot as they call him, he is hosting it. He is putting all this together. His people are kind of working behind the scenes to get everybody all together in one room. It's going to be lots of fun. Multiple readers, including one of my favorite readers, is going to be there, Molly from Behind the Limb. Shout out to her. Can't wait to meet her in person. I'm so excited. And I'm going to be there, the Intuitive Teacup. So if you have any interest and are going to be in the area, please stop by. There's going to be all the description down below somewhere here. I'll give you all the information there. But yeah, please stop by. We can read your cards. We'll see what the universe has in store for you. And it should be a really good time. Hope to see you there. Bye.